And I think that every single human being is a miracle, and we're also miraculously different. And that's what I celebrate in life in general. That's the legacy I want my children to grow up in.
Right.
And I think fitness in general doesn't celebrate that as much as I would like to see.
Right.
It's very formulaic. It's based on a certain look, a certain outcome, that sets most of us up for failure.
Right.
And I think healthy is diversity.
Yeah.
That's how we've evolved as a species. That's how we'll continue to evolve, is to just be in our own bodies, be self-aware, be happy, be content,
right.
And make healthy choices based on what each of us as unique geniuses, make those choices be about our individual needs,
right.
versus someone else telling us how to eat, how to exercise, how to be, how to look,
right.
how to achieve.
There's a great mantra that you have throughout the entire business, and that is make it your own. So you're encouraging people to pay attention to themselves and their own bodies. Can you tell me more about the thinking behind that and what attention means to you?
Well, I think truly being attentive is seeing someone, listening to them, and understanding them, and honoring who they are as individuals.
Right.
And the best teachers I've ever had are actually not teachers. They just simply opened up something in me that allowed me to explore who I was.
Wow.
Versus learning from them, they taught me to learn about myself. And that, I'm an educator. My master's is in education. That's what I love teaching. And that's the kind of teacher I aspire to be, is to really show everybody how they are actually their own best teacher.
Right.
And, you need to have a point of view, which we do, and we're educated, and we're constantly seeking knowledge about the body and how to balance the body and how to provide the best tools we possibly can for the people who come into our studios. But we don't profess to know the answers.
Right.
I always tell my clients, you have full permission to know a better way than I'm about to tell you. Because and then I learn from that.
Right.
It's a collective wisdom that this whole company is built on.
One of the philosophies I love, besides the make it your own and honor your body, is always encouraging people to modify. So to be fully aware of their own body or what they're experiencing as they walk into the studio. But not only that, your instructors do a brilliant job of really showing attention to their clients. And I believe it starts with the way that you train them.
Yeah, so modifications, or we call them also adaptations, like adapting a posture, because what we've experienced, and I think many of us have kind of an anchor to modifying as less than. Like, I'm going to modify if I need to go the easy way out. It's maybe not going to be as challenging or as results oriented.
Sure.
And so we've started actually using the word adaptive, because adapt is forward facing.
That's a great distinction.
Yeah, we're just, words are powerful, and we have rebranded Modify. I mean, Modify in most of our studios, most clients learn that it actually means you're going deeper. You're getting a more meaningful workout, and you're going to get better results.
Right.
But adapting, that, just changing that word out, really lights people. It's a quicker read for people that, if I adapt, I'm going to move forward.
I love it. That's really cool.
Yeah. And that, if, for example, my shoulder is triggering pain, I have some shoulder issue, which is really, really common. In plank pose down on the floor, I could struggle through that because that's what I've been told is achieving, right? That's the hardest version. Right. Or I can have the wisdom and knowledge to know I need to adapt this and get up at the ballet bar where there's less pressure on my shoulder, but I'm actually getting better core work now.
Right.
And I'm moving my body forward versus creating more injury in my shoulder, which will move me backwards.
Right.
So we spend a ton of time. The reason our training works so well with all of our instructors is they've already experienced that in their own lives and bodies.
Sure.
So it's not really teaching them anything. We're just showing them how to voice it because they've already experienced it. They already totally understand the idea of adapting and modifying. And not only do they understand it, they're so excited about it. They can't wait to help other people understand it.
And I think what's also powerful is how you train them, not just about the actual physical poses and the, you know, the mental part of Barre, but you also have created systems to ensure that from the moment a client steps into the studio, they're greeted by the front reception, that the front reception tells the instructor about potentially new people or someone who's on their third or fourth visit.
Yeah.
And you've created these systems, Sadie. So what I love is it's not just about the workshop or the work out in the studio. You've thought of everything.
Yeah. And I think most people that have a retail environment know that you need to have good customer service, right? Mm-hmm. And I've been in a lot of companies where I'm taught to follow a system or rules. When someone walks in the door, you say these 3 words. When you answer the phone, you say it like this. And then you do this, and then you do that. And you're supposed to memorize it and copy it. We actually don't do that.
Right.
So instead, we train on the why. Mm-hmm. I wholeheartedly, every cell in my body believes that it is the moment when you walk in the studio and the time you spend connecting in the lobby and that moment of magic when you hand your child over to our play lounge childcare person is just as healthy and results oriented as the workout.
Nice. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Relationship creates a healthy life. People live longer with strong relationships. When you have a strong relationship with people and you feel connected with people and you you feel seen, your stress levels decrease.
Right.
Your happy hormones increase.
Yeah.
And your ability to be open and learn new things is boundless.
Right.
And I think one of the other fights I have around the fitness industry is it's so narrowly defined. It's about these formulas. It's exercise, burn this many calories, eat this food to consume this many calories. That is fitness, and do it this way and you'll be healthy. And that is, like, to me, this much of fitness. There is so much more to being healthy than moving your body and what you put in your mouth.
Right.
Way more. Like, exponentially more. And so we tell that whole story and we train all of our team on that. So the people that are behind my front desk and the men and women who work the childcare, they are equal players. They are not the support team.
Yeah.
They are also equal to the instructor who, has a following of, regulars and has a waitlisted class. They all treat each other equally, and they have a huddle at the front desk, the 3 of them. So there's the 3 that create the experience, and most studios have childcare, some don't. Where the childcare person, the front desk, and then the instructor huddle at the front desk. We call it a quick huddle, and look at the roster of people coming in and just say, oh yeah, she just had her baby. She's coming back for the first time. Or, oh, John has been here only 3 times. I'm not sure he knows all the clients yet. Let's make sure, today I could tell he's, maybe a little intimidated. Let's make sure, we take really good care of him. And, oh, Sally's coming in. It's her 500th class. Let's write her a card, So we talk about everybody, just kind of get, like, it's just this little powwow of how can we be very attentive.
It is. Sadie, that's exactly what it is. I noticed that with Lauren and Eleni, especially because she is running the studio and she's instructing and she's also working the front desk and she's taking care of the little ones when they come in. Yeah. So she does everything. But what I notice is that everyone I've ever been with, they know exactly everyone's name. They know the children's name. They've learned the grandkids' name. They know when someone goes on vacation. And what I think has been so amazing about this is, regardless of whether I feel like going to Barre or not, I want to go into the studio for the community that is being created. And so what I'd love you to speak to a little bit more is, I know Lauren and Eleni are responsible for the community here in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, but that comes from the founder, that comes from the heart of you about why you're trying to achieve this. When you set out, what were some things you thought about to really pay attention to your community, because you're exceptional at it?
Well, it's nothing magical. It's nothing I read in a book. It just purely came from my own experience. My husband and I were fighting lonely as a couple. We lived in this big, beautiful city. We finally had our house. We had our babies. We had careers, but we were lonely. Like we didn't have a sense of community and connection.
Right.
And we set out to build that. Simple as that. And when I opened my first studio in the Pearl District with 2 babies in tow and my husband, I held babies, checked people in, taught 19 classes a week.
Oh my God.
And I just, every single person who walked in the door, I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Wow. You're here, you know? And it's just amazing. And it has not gone away. I mean, that it's very real. I mean, I don't take for granted in every single penny someone spends on Bar 3 is important to me. Time is valuable, money is valuable, and we have an opportunity of having a building where people can come in and connect, and I don't take that for granted. Right. That's a really special opportunity. We have over 100 studios now nationwide. And it's not just about having 100 studios. It's not about growing bigger. It's about growing better.
Right.
And how you grow better is through relationships.
Right.
At the heart of every studio is just connection. Anyone can really teach a good exercise class, in my opinion, and all exercise is equal and amazing. I don't think that's the other thing that drives me crazy is when people say, well, how are you better than this program? How are you better than that program? And frankly, we aren't. I think just instead what we care the more about is people, and connection and teaching and inspiring learning and growing and not being boring and, you know, diversity and all those things are really like and the reason it works is because every one of my owners, Lauren's no exception, are aligned with that. That's why they joined forces with us.
Yeah,
that's what brought them to the table.
There's a wonderful positive spirit that is in any instructor I've ever had the privilege of taking a class with the owners that I've met. Karen Pless is in the area as well. I know Karen, she was the one who first told me about Barre when Lauren opened her studio. So I think that you have chosen some of these phenomenal leaders. You've upskilled them beautifully. You've created this culture of paying attention to the clients when they come in, but also the wider community, because you also, it looks to me like you serve in local communities as well, and you encourage that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We want to create at this point a social movement. I mean, it's for everybody. The online program is affordable. Mm-hmm. That's really important to me. I grew up with a single mom without money who was super healthy. She raised me. I felt rich the way she raised me because her cup was full. Mm-hmm. And you know, I want that for all. I really, that was one of my drivers for creating the online workout program, because college kids can do it. Right. You know, college can't afford a boutique exercise studio at this point. You know, all different, I hear from people all over the country, all over the world that do our online workouts that don't have a studio. That's really important to us. We have, and we do more and more, we're trying to figure out how we can give back. Like, I am healthy, so now I can help others. Like that's kind of where we come from. And Every Mother Counts is one of the organizations that we really love supporting. We have Mama Mondays, the first Monday of every month, where childcare proceeds go all to Every Mother Counts. Mm-hmm. We have programs that go to that to make, you know, all mothers healthy, and maternity care accessible for everybody, which we're really, you know, that's something we're really passionate about.
Right. Any final thoughts for people on this whole idea of attentiveness and paying attention to what matters?
Well, I think it's really hard to pay attention to other people and to listen fully unless you have time to be still and have time to let go of your own inner critic that comes into your mind, your own like inner child who wants attention. And so I do think a practice of being mindful and self-aware is what sets all of us up for having strong relationships. And I think that's often not talked about, that the relationship really starts with yourself first, is what I'm saying.
I love it. Beautiful way to finish. Thank you. It's been an absolute privilege to interview you. Thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for all that you're doing in the world and what you're creating. I think that the self-care and the focus on the individual first to be able to contribute out into the world is so powerful. I agree with you 100%. So Sadie, thank you so much. I know people are going to be really keen to check out Barre 3.
Thanks for making our Barre 3 community even more vibrant. I've heard all about you from many team members, and I'm so happy you're part of our tribe.
That's so cool. Thank you again.
Yeah.